Well, it's great to have you both. I so appreciate you both taking the time. By way of introduction, so Orin, when you first came back from your mission, I was in the Timpanogos State, and I came over with groups of youth to massage your body in an effort to stimulate neural activity. You recall those days? I don't think we were in the same ward, but in the same stake. So you said that Orin speaks with a modified sign language. Are you able to tell me what he's saying now?
Yes, he's just remembering back to those days of people coming to help with those kind of things.
Well, what's life been like for you, Orin, since then?
Happy. Yes. So, and he's doing it. He still does physical therapy.
Okay.
He still has people come and help from different wards within the state.
Ah.
And since then, he's gained more facial expression, more mobility.
What have been improvements in your mobility?
So he's able to use with help, he's able to use a wheelchair where he can scoot around, and he likes to go out and water his garden. And he just likes to be outside still. But most of the mobility would be to be able to help himself get in and out of his wheelchair. Is that everything, Orin? Yeah. Oh, and he's able to help more with his arms more. Pick things up with his right hand. He paints.
Cool.
Excellent. Yes, he loves to paint.
I'd love to see some of that.
We could send you some.
Yeah. We don't have to display the art on the podcast per se, but personally, I am interested in seeing. I did art in high school, and I have an appreciation for that expression.
That makes you really happy, Orin.
What is your favorite medium, Orin? You paint with acrylic, watercolor, oil?
You're saying oil.
Spray paint?
Oil, he said.
Well, congratulations on a couple of things. First of all, being happy since I knew you last. That's top notch. I mean, of all the accomplishments, that's what all accomplishments seek. Really is happiness, and I can't say that I've been totally happy since that time. So well done. Very well done. And also, I'm very happy to hear about the mobility too. So this wheelchair is manually powered, correct? And so your upper body, you're able with your upper body to get in and outside and.
Yeah. He has bird feeders. He loves to feed birds. So he gets in his wheelchair to go out and fill the bird feeders. Anytime he can actually convince his respite workers to put him in it, he likes to go to the store in it, which is kind of scary to me.
Talk to me about that. What does a trip to the store look like with him in the wheelchair with you, Chartina?
With me, I don't take him in the manual wheelchair. He goes in his motorized wheelchair. Sometimes with his aides, they will occasionally take him in the manual wheelchair because it's a lot easier. I don't do it because it's a lot easier for him to fall out. So, but we just go to the store, and he usually likes to carry the basket and pull things off the shelves if he wants them. So that's one thing that we do quite often. My mom doesn't drive anymore, so we take her shopping. So Orin is quite the amazing shopper.
And you just let him, and you go down the aisles, and he'll just grab stuff, the things that he needs.
Yeah, the things that he would like, a lot of times he'll reach for them and can pull them off the shelf or point to them if it's kind of out of his reach, then I can get it for him.
I think that's where I saw you. I think that's actually where I found out that you two were married.
Oh, really? At the store?
Yeah. So after my mission, I moved away, and I've been back though to visit. I did return to Utah to live for about a year, but I'm not sure if it was during that year or just on a visit. My parents still live there in Provo, and I have some siblings who live there. And I was with my mom at a grocery store. It may have been the Walmart in Pleasant Grove, if I recall correctly. And my mom said, "Oh, there's Orin." And I said, "Oh, who's that with him?" And she said, "That's his wife." And I said, "Orin got married? When?" And she didn't have a lot of details. But that was the first time I'd learned about it. And I want to say it was many years ago. How long have you guys been married now?
We just celebrated our 20th anniversary in December. We got married the day after Christmas in 2002. So we just barely had our 20th anniversary.
Well, congratulations.
Well, thank you.
20 years is quite the accomplishment.
Also, Orin, wanting to hear a little bit about your story.
Well, so my story, Orin, is, let's see. I'm guessing you're probably 47-ish?
Yeah, 46. Yep, he's 46.
Okay, so I'm 42. Graduated Pleasant Grove in 1997. And went to, and I was very involved in high school, very much loved my experience. I was senior class president. Really liked my high school years. Served a mission in Germany, Frankfurt, Germany. A little bit of mild depression set on several months before I came home, maybe 8 months started before I returned. But finished honorably, came back, and the depression sort of grew. I had great grades in high school, and had some scholarships, but got my first F in college, tanked my GPA. I did eventually finish a 4-year degree in political science at UCLA, and while in California. So I moved out to California in 2003, got a job there. I was just for the summer, but I got this job and decided to stay. Loved the weather, got the degree, got married there, had my first child, a boy, Jackson, out there. And his mom really wanted to move to Utah because house prices were better, so we moved there for a bit. Had another child, Alexander. And then the job I was working at the time was for Geneva Pipe. I'm sure you're familiar.
Uh-huh.
And lost that job just due to layoffs. This was 2000, I want to say 10, or yeah, in May of 2010. I had enrolled to go to the MBA program at University of Utah that fall. Had already paid the non-refundable $600 or $700 deposit, but was convinced by my wife to move to Arizona, which is where her whole family's from, to regroup, live with her parents, save some money, and then maybe do an MBA in Arizona. But shortly after we arrived, she made it known that she wanted a divorce, and I've stayed in Arizona to parent. Being with my kids has been my priority. And I've been here ever since. The change sort of threw my career off. And, it's in a traditional family where the father works outside the home. The children's needs are all met by the one inside the home, living with them, caring for them 24/7. They know that parent loves them because that parent's there with them, but the parent outside the home kind of needs a mediator. They kind of needs that parent to talk them up and let the kids know that dad's out working because he loves them. Well, I wasn't going to get that mediation. And I knew that I wanted long-term relationship with my kids. So I prioritized being with my kids. I did work when I needed to, but when they were with me, I decided I was going to be with them. I had another marriage, I would say a year and a half after that lasted 6 months. And after that ended, I sort of hit rock bottom and asked God what I had done wrong. And am I talking too long? I don't want to bore you. I'm
just listening very intently.
Okay, very good. Yeah, that was just your like, got it. I'll keep going. I'm circling it back to how we're on this call now. But I asked God what I'd done wrong in marriage. In high school, I had enough friends and enough girls interested in waiting for me before I left on my mission that I thought marriage would be a cinch. But 2 fails kind of really, really broke me. And for several years, I started getting answers to my prayer. Couldn't date for about 4 years, lived like a monk.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just me and Jesus recording answers, I was seeing the gospel afresh. I was seeing it new. And then I started seeing gospel principles in a gendered tint, kind of like yin yang. I started seeing justice as masculine, mercy as feminine, agency as masculine. I started to understand this bridegroom metaphor, why the God we interact with is always male and everyone on planet Earth is female. And all this started to make just perfect sense to me. And I started to see the plan, the design of masculine and femininity interplaying in a sustainable sort of universal pattern. And I suppose really all I'm trying to say is that the suffering I went through in divorce, I now want to use what I've learned from that to help other people have happy, sustainable marriages. And so I've started a business doing that, and I was talking to a prospective client who was thinking about leaving his wife, and I guess there had been some undisclosed mental illness, and I was mentioning how in a marriage book, this author, John Gottman, says mental illness isn't necessarily a determining factor in divorce. It's present in a lot of great marriages. And he said, yeah, but there has to be some sort of baseline functioning, right? Like if she can't get out of bed or if she doesn't perform this or that, I mean, obviously there has to be some baseline, right? And as soon as he asked me that question, you guys popped into my mind.
Yeah.
And I thought it would be great for couples who are wanting to navigate that space between when marriage is difficult, but they have the goal of making it last forever, and they're having these expectations of their spouse. Thought it might be good to hear your guys' perspective on some of these things. So that is how I came to reach out. I asked my mom, I said, do you know Orin's wife? She really didn't, but finally we figured it out, and I noticed we had some mutual friends, and I just sent your lovely wife a message on Facebook and said what I was up to, and here we are.
That awesome story, Orin. Excellent. He loves it when he gets to hear about people and their stories. It makes them tick, huh, Orin?
Likewise, I love hearing about people and their stories, and in addition to the choice nuggets regarding marriage that I think you two can offer, I'm also really grateful for the opportunity to reconnect and to get to know you, Chartina.
Well, thank you.
Starting with, I can't see you. What's he doing?
He's just smiling and enjoying listening and agreeing.
Yeah, a sustainable, happy marriage is no small feat in any kind of scenario, and you guys have some extra challenges, maybe some extra blessings. I don't know. I'd be interested to hear your perspective. I do want to respect your time, though, and not really start, to get into it too much. But a couple things. First of all, am I saying your name right? Is it Chartina?
Yep.
Perfect.
Charlotte and Tina squished together. Yeah.
Charlotte and Tina, okay. My brother's marrying a girl named Charlotte this summer, so very cool. Chartina. And then as far as, I'll find out if this recording sounds good for an audio. The podcast has a video feature as well.
Okay.
I would love to see you and Orin in the screen with a similar audio quality. Do you think that for the next appointment we set up that would be possible?
Is that okay, Orin?
If not, then happy to just proceed audio as
He's
well.
saying no. He's I think you're teasing, aren't you? He's teasing. He's laughing. He said no, and then he loves to tease everybody. That's the biggest. He's the biggest tease around. Yes, that would be fine.
I like that. Well, I appreciate your willingness to do it.
And we're just simple people. We're simple, crazy people. That's who we are. Orin likes to point at me and say that I'm the crazy one. Is that true?
Yeah. Well, I'm also a simple guy. Still just raising my 2 kids. I have not remarried since 2012. And we just have a little condo. And I actually spent all morning with my plants. I've got a jasmine that's in bloom right now. It smells so good.
Ooh, I bet it smells good. Now remind us, how old are your boys now?
So now I have Jackson, who's 15, and Alex is 13.
Oh, wow.
It's the light of my life.
Awesome.
But I do think that a marriage like yours is the goal. So I look forward to appreciate you guys letting me dissect you for the sake of our audience. Just about every 10 episodes, I want to have a couple on who I consider to be a remarkable, who I consider to be remarkably accomplished in the goal of sustainable, happy marriage. And you guys would be the first. So I guess I'll just text you, Chartina, with some availability. And
okay.
I don't know how much time we would need, but I'd love to have a good clearance of time, just in case we got into it, maybe 2 hours or more.
I'm good, Orin.
For start to finish.
He's saying no again, you big teaser. Yes. Let me look at my.
You can look at your calendar and get back to me. I know we're out of time. Your next call is coming soon, so I'll let you go. But thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Look forward to our next call.
And we do too. Have a great day.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.